Hi, and welcome to part 2 of my build. I have dry fitted and glued some of the parts together. First, let me show you the P-47D. I've glued the main body and just test fitted the wings here. I've kept part of the sprue here just so that while I'm handling it until I finish, I'm ready to actually prime this. I don't want up snapping off some of these little delicate plastic parts here. So far, fit of the body itself is pretty good. No putty needed in the body. I'm just going to need to sand some of these seams here, top and bottom, but otherwise went pretty well. The wings, they fit in pretty tight. This is the attachment of the wing here. You have these two, and then the bottom there. They attach pretty solidly. At the bottom here, there's hardly any seam, although at the top you do have a seam. So once I glue this together, I just gotta be careful. I'm probably gonna need a little bit of a filler in there. I'm also probably gonna need some filler when I attach the horizontal stabilizers. So the fit there is not the best. Once I'm gonna go ahead and put everything together and prime and get this ready for painting. Same thing with some of the other smaller parts. I've kept this right now at the sprue. Just glued together the two halves of the fuel tanks and the two parts of the engine here. So all these little smaller parts, I'm going to keep them on the sprue as I prep them and get them preliminary primer on it. Then once I get to painting, I'll cut them off. For the wheel covers here, these are actually scored, so you can put them in 3 pieces when you put them in there, if you have the wheels down. So for priming and painting, I'm going to keep them as 1 piece, and then when I'm actually ready to attach them to the model, I'll break them off into the parts. On the lightning part, I've test fitted the parts here to see how well it fits. This doesn't fit as well as that Thunderbird actually. Some of these pieces you're going to have 3 seams coming in together. I don't know if you can see that really well there in the video. But here you got the 2 halves of the engine nacelle. You have the top part of the wing. So you have 3 joints, 3 joint lines right there. And you're going to have 3 joint lines also at the bottom once you put in the front of the engine nacelle. And the 2 halves is going to form that third part. So that's also going to be a little bit of a problem. I see some filler, some sanding, some fit issues there. But other than that, that's really the main fit issue that I see here. The other issue that I see here, that there really is no detail in these wheel wells. I mean, that is literally flat in here under the 2 engines. There's nothing there. It's just literally a hollow cavity there. That's not going to go there. So I got to decide what to do with those. If we want to do something there, scratch pillow or something. And that's that. So far so good. I mean, slowly coming along. So once I assemble everything together, I'm going to glue everything together, whatever can be on the model. It's on the main part of the body. So that's going to be primed and painted, this one part. Some of the other parts, like the top of the engines here and so forth, these pieces will be painted separately, primed and painted separately, and then attached to the finished model. I have also received my decals that I'm going to use for these planes in the mail. For that Matchbox kit that I did a couple months ago, I used Iliad, and I got some more Iliad decals here. So this is the main sheet of these, and I'm going to do the this one from D-Day. And these are the actual decals here. See, there's plenty here. I mean, I'm only really going to use these. The stripes will be painted and masked. So I'm going to have plenty of spares for maybe the other lightning kit that I have in my stash. And then for the Thunderbolt, for the P-47, I got decals from Eagle Strike. So again, I'm going to do one of these 2 D-Day builds of the stripes. And this is how they come. Painting guide, along with some information about the particular planes. These are the decals. Again, plenty of spares for other kits as well. Okay. Before moving on to the priming and painting part of this build, I just want to show you where I'm at with the after putting major parts together. This is the P-47. There was not much filler needed other than right here at the wing root. If you can see this, that little white line here and here, that is the amount of filler I needed. There is none underneath on the wing, just right there at the top of the root. Parts here fit good enough that it covers up any seams in there. That was basically it, and just a little bit back here, again, where you see a little bit of a white line. Everything else has been sanded smooth where the seams meet, so once I put some primer on, we'll see how that looks. If it looks good enough, well, great. If not, I'll go back, do some more sanding and so forth. So far, I managed not to break up any of the parts, which is good. You might notice here in some of both of these that there's a little bit of a blue tinge in some of these parts. I use a little bit of the micro mask to cover some of the mounting points where I'm going to be putting on other parts later. Like for example, in this case, the fuel tanks, the external fuel tanks, where they meet this way after prime, paint, and so forth. I can just peel that off, leaving raw plastic, and the same thing, corresponding part edge on the fuel tank here, raw plastic. So that will make a nice good glue joint. Did the same thing for the wheel wells. You probably can't tell, but inside the wheel wells here, where the landing strut go, there's also a bit of micro masking there. Same thing with the P-38. We're putting the top of the engine. There's a bit of micro mask there and there. Same thing on the bottom where the external fuel tanks will go, there and there, and same thing for the wheels, for the landing gears where the wheels were attached. There's a little bit of micro mask here at the edge of the tip and also the prop. So after done all the paint, just peel them off, and I can have a good plastic bond. If you might notice here, I'm just talking about how plain things were down here at the bottom. I'm added some bits and pieces of extra sprues and wires here just to dress it up a little bit. I mean, I know it's not accurate whatsoever, but at least it's not just plain flat plastic. The other thing that I did here, I did put weight, nose weight, but this is still a tail sitter. It's still a tail sitter. So I even tried stuffing some more stuff here in the engine nacelles, but that did not do anything. So it's still going to be tail setting. Alright, so next part that you'll see of this next week, I'll have this primed and any shading and so forth, getting it ready for the paint job. Alright, thank you.